I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. So lovely to have the chance to speak to you. Maybe you can just kick off with a brief introduction to your film, Leave No Traces.
Yeah, sure. Leave No Traces is a film set in 1983 in Poland, in Warsaw. It's a story that starts with a beating of a young boy, 18, 19-year-old, who just passed his high school exams and was celebrating with his friends. And because of a very silly incident, he was caught by the police and they beat him very hardly and he passed away after a couple of days. And the film is about a guy who was the only eyewitness of this whole thing, and he's trying to bring truth, outside to let know what happened and to find justice.
And what led you to want to tell this very specific story and put it up on the big screen?
I was born in 1984, so a year later, and I'm always open to stories that are revealing some things that happen in the recent history that we didn't actually have a chance to find out, and that was one of those. The main thing was that there's a reportage book released in 2017 called Leave No Traces, the case of Grzegorz Przemyk, covering the whole story. And when I read the book, I thought that this is a wonderful material for a film, and this is a story that needs to be filmed. It's so important for Polish stories. That's one thing. The other thing is that I found a lot of universal themes in it, because those kind of things are happening all the time, all around the world. There's a lot of issues that are in it, which are which are the consequences of all those things, mainly about men overusing power to get what they want or to cover up something that they did. This is a very multi-layered story, and there's also another thing in it which was important. That was a chance to show the whole system of the communist regime working at that time, from the guy just standing outside when waiting for the guy he needs to follow, up to the guys who are really in power. So that was like those things, yeah.
And what do you hope the impact of your film will be? How do you want people to feel when they come out of the cinema? Because obviously it's, it might be a story people don't know anything about, so it's interesting in that respect, but then it's probably going to resonate with people as well, with things that are going on in our contemporary culture.
Well, one thing is that you can talk about it because people know that kind of a story, and this is kind of a, rich against the machine thing, an individual against system kind of thing. So this is really something people in a way know, but they don't really get this part of the 80s in Poland, and this is something that is really intriguing. And I'm saying this after premiere which was on Venice Film Festival and a couple of other screenings both in Poland and outside around the world. I'm very happy that although we're just a month from the world premiere, I already got a lot of very interesting reflections, comments from high school students, which are more or less at the age of the guy. And this is something for me very important, because I feel that, at first when I was working on this one, I thought that, I was born a year later, and this is something that is a mark for me, and I should, look for it from that perspective. But after the premiere and those first reviews from high school, students, I realized that I'm exactly in between. People who remember those events and were there, and young people right now. I think there's a strong message that you should look back and see what past can teach us, not to go the same road again. And this is something that is I'm thinking a lot about it. I wasn't that much. I think when I was making the film. Now when I am, I have several, interviews and Q&As and so on, and so people are bringing up questions, and I'm analyzing things that are coming from the film, which is already done.
And what does it mean to you for the film to be showing at the London Film Festival? And do you see any difference in the way it might play out to Polish audiences as opposed to an international or wider European audience?
Well, I think that London is always a great place to be, and that's actually my first film on London Film Festival, and I came here very excited. I haven't been to London because of the pandemic and so on and so on. So I'm really thrilled, and I'm looking forward to see how people will react. And it's always refreshing to find new audience, and I know that it's great that the shows are sold out, and it's always great for a filmmaker to see that people want to see your film and talk about it.
Amazing. Well, thanks so much for sharing all that with us, and enjoy the rest of the festival.
Thank you.
Thank you.